WWE's Hall of Fame is often seen as very controversial. Some former wrestlers see it as a joke for inducting celebrities, and many wrestlers refused induction multiple times due to the induction of questionable performers and the omissions of major names. Some questionable entrances include Coco Beware, Abdullah the Butcher, and Hillbilly Jim. The Hall of Fame should be for the best of the best. Bob Backlund declined induction multiple times. The Ultimate Warrior initially refused the offer in 2010 before being inducted in 2014, not long before his death. But today, we're going to leave that controversy and questionable names behind and tell you why TNA's Hall of Fame is perfect / near perfect. For the title, we're going to say perfect. TNA's Hall of Fame was created in 2012 as a promotion, as a celebration of the promotion's 10th anniversary. Granted, there is only 16 inductees, so there is a lot less room to go wrong, where WWE has over 100 inductees. One quick piece of admin: if you're not familiar with TNA's history, their world title from 2002 to around 2006 was the NWA's world title. So you're going to hear the NWA world title being thrown about, but it was TNA's world title at the time. There was no TNA world title. So the first inductee to the TNA Hall of Fame in 2012, inducted by Dixie Carter, is Sting. Sting is a one-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, four-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion, so collectively 5 world titles whilst in TNA, and a one-time TNA World Tag Team Champion. This is completely deserved. Sting had a second prime, essentially, in TNA, following his great years in WCW. In 2013, TNA inducted Kurt Angle, and he was inducted by Sting. Angle is a 6-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion, 1-time TNA X Division Champion, 2-time TNA World Tag Team Champion, 2-time King of the Mountain winner, and a 1-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion whilst he was in TNA. This is another completely valid one you just cannot argue with. Kurt Angle's arguably best work is in TNA, as Perk Angle's a nickname. He doesn't like that nickname. It's what he's known as in TNA. Kurt Angle's prime in TNA, unbelievable work, valid. In 2015, we have 2 inductees. Firstly, Jeff Jarrett, who was the co-founder of TNA, also he was inducted by Dixie Carter. The co-founder of TNA, 6-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, 1-time TNA King of the Mountain Champion, and a 1-time AAA Mega Champion, and a 3-time King of the Mountain winner. Is this valid? Yes. Earl Hebner was also inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame in 2015, and this is somewhat different, because I don't think a referee has ever been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Hebner was their senior referee from 2006 to 2017. It's nice. In 2016, we've got Gail Kim, inducted by Dixie Carter. She is the inaugural and 7-time TNA Knockouts Champion, and a 1-time TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion, and Queen of Knockouts winner in 2013. She is arguably the GOAT of wrestling for women in TNA. Gail Kim, thumbs up. In 2018, they inducted Abyss, and he was inducted by his manager, James Mitchell. Abyss was the workhorse of TNA for nearly 20 years. You could place him at any spot in the card and he would work. Sadly, he was only a one-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. It's better than nothing. And he beat Sting in that match, which was, I've seen that match, a really good match. He is a two-time TNA Television Champion, one-time TNA X Division Champion, two-time TNA World Tag Team Champion, and a one-time NWA World Tag Team Champion before they introduced the TNA Tag Team belts. Abyss, the workhorse of TNA, 100% agree. In 2020, they inducted Ken Shamrock, who was a one-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion and was the first world champion in the promotion's history. This is illustrious. This is great. You need to have your first world champion in the Hall of Fame. In 2021, they inducted Awesome Kong, who was inducted by Gail Kim. She was a two-time TNA Knockouts champion, one-time TNA Knockouts Tag Team champion, and Queen of Knockouts winner in 2015. Awesome Kong, wow. Her best work in TNA when in the late 2000s and early 2010s, TNA treated women's wrestling better than any other company in the world. Better than WWE, better than anything New Japan were putting on. And Awesome Kong, just like Gail Kim, was one of the pillars of that era. And absolutely a worthy induction. In 2022, they inducted Raven, and Raven was inducted by Tommy Dreamer. This is the first one where I'm like a bit, I guess so. He was a one-time world champion and King of the Mountain winner in 2005. You could very easily switch him for someone like DDP, and it wouldn't be much of a difference. In 2023, we've got Tracy Brooks, inducted by Gail Kim, who's a long-time manager, valet, and wrestler, and was considered to be the original Knockout. See, this is the first one where I probably have a major problem with this, because you've inducted her before Mick Foley, before DDP, AJ Styles, before the Hardys. And granted, I know some of them aren't retired, but it doesn't make much sense. And finally, for the singles inductions, we have two in 2024. One being Bob Ryder, which I would like to quickly touch on, which is a posthumous induction, who was a co-founder and long-time executive for TNA. I think that's a really nice touch. You wouldn't really see WWE doing something like this. I guess they could bring back and induct Bray Wyatt. And they also inducted Rhino, inducted by Tommy Dreamer, one-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and a two-time TNA World Tag Team Champion. And finally, we have two group inductions, which I think are just perfect. So in 2014, they inducted Team 3D, Bubba and Devon Dudley. As a tag team, they're one-time NWA World Tag Team Champions, two-time TNA World Tag Team Champions, and two-time IWGP Tag Team Champions. I think as an induction, Team 3D absolutely deserves it. They are great. Have the accolades to back it up. As the first tag team in the TNA Hall of Fame, perfect. As two legends who are retired now, perfect. But now you need to start inducting Beer Money, Team Canada, among others. And finally, we have, in 2023, we have Don West and Mike Tenay, who were TNA's original broadcast team from 2002 to 2009. And these two are the voices of early TNA. Without these two, it's not really the same. And Don West was inducted posthumously after his death in 2002. So, the voices of TNA, perfect. So, if we're looking round this list again quickly, the only ones I'd have a slight gripe with is Tracy Brooks, the valet, and maybe Raven. You could throw a few other people in there. And in terms of future inductions, I'd look towards DDP, Bobby Lashley when he retires, Bobby Roode, the Hardy Boys, AJ Styles, Motor City Machine Guns, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, and Rob Van Dam. So, what do you think of this video? I think TNA's Hall of Fame is perfect / almost perfect, and is definitely more better than WWE's. Thanks, guys.